Ethnographic research is the qualitative study of people and cultures. This approach allows us to interpret and represent worldviews from a holistic perspective. Most importantly, it aims to understand and see the world from the perspective of our participants. It gives researchers the opportunity to understand specific circumstances and how they derive or make meaning in their lives. Ethnographic research can be challenging, but it can also open up understandings and perspectives not possible through other methods. Ethnographers spend extended periods of time working with a particular group, organisation or region. This type of research typically involves participant observation and in-depth interviews, although documents and other artefacts may also be collected. Field notes, which detail the researcher's experiences and reflections while in the field, are a very important source of data. The researcher becomes immersed in their data. They attempt to understand and interpret behaviours in relation to their social, political, cultural and economic contexts.
Ethnography helped me to build understanding of complex social problems from the point of view of those most involved in and affected by systemic inequality. The aim of my PhD was to better understand the day-to-day lived experiences of young people aged 18 to 25 years who were leaving out-of-home care, that is foster care, kinship care and residential care, at the same time as they're transitioning to adulthood. Despite continuing evidence that young care leavers experience adverse outcomes such as homelessness, poverty and poor mental health, they are expected to become independent at 17 or 18 years of age. This is at a time when young Australians are living in the family home or coming and going from the family home well into their 20s. I spent 10 months meeting up with young people, recording interviews, conversations and observations of their daily lives in context as they went about studying, working, job seeking, engaging with social and health services such as Centrelink and job services, GPs and adult mental health services, shopping and interacting with others socially. Ethnography in this setting provided detail on the day-to-day lives of young people to answer the question, how do young people experience the transition from out-of-home care? These insights provide useful evidence for policymakers for developing policies to extend support to young adults transitioning from out-of-home care.
I largely work with organisational ethnography, although my work also skirts political ethnography, as the organisations I look at are government departments. Ethnography allowed me to explore a side of politics and policymaking, which is often hidden and therefore underexplored. Ethnography is uniquely equipped to look behind the scenes at the practices of policymaking. My PhD project is based on 5 months spent in the Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet in Canberra as a participant observer. I collected documentation, both publicly available and also internal documents, as well as undertaking observation and interviews. Much of what policymakers do is necessarily hidden from view, but ethnography allowed me access to this hidden world of policymakers to see behind what is recorded in policy documents and speeches. It afforded me an opportunity to see how policymakers use evidence in the real world, how they collect, sift through, select and sometimes translate evidence for policy decisions. I believe that without this method, I wouldn't have been able to get this deep understanding of the policy-making process. This is vitally important to help us better understand as researchers how the evidence we produce might inform policy and in turn impact citizens.